Welcome to the program Transforming Lives One at a Time. I am your host, Deanne McClutchy. And of course, you can link with us on our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, TikTok. On this program, we speak to any and every issue that affects the human experience. Well, as promised, we are bringing you part two of that interview with ex-prisoner Mr. Pream Badree. And in part one, we spoke about, in depth rather, about his experiences while he was at prison. And today we're going to focus more on some of his accomplishments, as indicated in part one. I told you that he would have written 9 books while being in prison. And he's now writing his 10th book, as well as he has launched his own television program, namely Redemption. So in this program, we're going to talk in depth about that. And it is our hope that indeed lives will be impacted by his testimony. And, we can really, really show some kind of appreciation and pride for what has happened to Mr. Badree in his latter. Okay, so Mr. Badree, welcome again to part two in the program Transforming Lives One at a Time.
Thank you so much for having me again. Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes,
much was
yes.
left unsaid, and it was a spicy story, so we have to continue.
Well, it is normally said once it's nice, you do it twice. Huh?
Yes, that's true.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I want us to talk firstly about how your values and priorities shifted
hmm
or were shifted since regaining your freedom.
So in incarceration, you have a survival mentality, and I also had a different, extra goal to get a life. Upon release, it's not really just about survival; it's about honestly making a name for myself to be remembered, right? And how to be remembered. Because a lot of the time people live their life there, and like example, I went to a funeral, and even in the back, everybody will talk about this person so good. And this is sometimes we want to be remembered good. So build a life for myself, make my family who stand it more along proud, right? People could I could be an example for people to say, well, hey, this is where this person reached. I want to be a successful like this person. I want to be proud of myself, right? Um, my goals is also to get my own home, staying in that home, house as you can see falling apart from the house, the crack because of the caving of the land. So I want to be able to feel proud of everything I'm doing and hopefully become a leader that can help people and people can rely on me and be right with God, basically.
So, Prim, let's talk
Mhm.
about what were your biggest fears and challenges when you were first released and, coming back into your community, into society again.
So my fears when I came out was that I wouldn't accomplish nothing. That I would be like a dog chasing your own tail, a top spinning in the mud. I had a big fear that I'll be rejected and I would not be able to be fit in and then fall back in a category that I will end up in prison again. But when I entered my society, my community where I grew up in, I would see people showing me that they are proud of me as well. And telling me, you know, we know where it was, we know it, and eventually, um, you are becoming a person that we are proud of. Um, but first, when I was walking back in my neighborhood, I was watching like all these big buildings come from, and it was like honestly, it was so good to walk in the neighborhood again. My only fear was dogs, though. I really fear dogs. I really fear
Literally.
dogs. So afraid that somebody dog run out because they don't know me, and I had to run and scream all over the place. But I just fear that I never would have make it because at the beginning, when even when I started my TikTok, I would show everything I experienced in the beginning over and over. And then started to teach people. But then, how to say it? A fear of the heat, and then I did get, let me just say, other than the family members that we talked in the last episode that showed me bad eye, I got one negative person, and it's a company. Wouldn't call the company name,
Right.
but they would have sent an email stating that they never asked me to come and check them. Which my line of work, I do sales for a company. So obviously, it's a big establishment. Anybody could walk in the establishment to purchase items and walk out.
Yes.
And they sent an email, and then my director would have called them, and they would have said, well, my director said, I understand how you feel and everything, but my employee is doing his work. And they would have said that hellfire for him because they searched my name and he committed crime and he this and that and a whole sort of thing, and they placed their religious belief as well on it. So my director would have said, I understand you're reading according to your scripture, what you're saying, but I know Prim since he's 15 years old. And the person he was then to the person he is now is two different
Right.
person. Mind you, that director, I know him since he's 15 as well, right? Um, and he would have said that as far as I know, my client, my employee is doing what he supposed to do, and he's a very extraordinary person. I am very sorry to how you think at the moment, but that's your opinion. But I support him 100%, and I'm always there for him.
Okay. I
So
must I must ask this question as well. Have you come into contact with any of the relatives or family of
victim.
the person, yeah, the victim?
So on my TikToks, I would have shared my story on multiple times, and they would have commented, it hurts and this and that. But I would have met them several occasions.
Okay.
Um, the auntie and probably one or two, and they would have told me because so it was three of us incarcerated, but out of the three, I would be going all over. I still go and party a little bit. I enjoy myself because I want to enjoy myself. There's so much I miss out. And
Right.
I would have met them and they would have said, I understand what happened and I forgive you. As long as you're trying to give back to society and change people's life and make a better in our community, I forgive you.
Right.
And up to today, I met one recently again when my dad was in the hospital. She didn't remember me because usually she would have held that contempt and remember me every single way. Now she does now. And she say, like, I know you from somewhere. And I told her, and she like, oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, make sure your dad good and thing, but you keep good. I was like, okay.
Wow. And obviously they would have seen the kind of remorse and even, even in you turning your life around and
Mm-hmm.
now venturing into organization, into schools, into communities, and encouraging the youth population. Listen, you don't have to go down the road that I went.
Mm-hmm.
Even all in all of that, you are seeing transformation, you're seeing that remorse, and you're seeing that you definitely want to be able to make a positive impact on
Mm-hmm.
on persons that you would come into contact with. And of course, that is definitely commendable. I want you to talk about the support systems. I know we spoke about that in part one, like
Mm-hmm.
family therapy or even
Mm-hmm.
community programs that were helpful in your transition.
Well, what I have to say is one of my clients would have asked me counseling if I had it since I came out. And honestly, I did not went and take any family therapy, anything like that. Which I regretted because the counseling when I came out would have been so helpful. But I didn't have the opportunity to take any of those at all. Um, because believe me, it's been a lot. I to see that the only, as we'll say, the only fight I get is from family, or 99% of the fight I get is from family. I think that family therapy would have helped because seeing that, so the same uncle I said who gave me the case, we was in the probation office together with the probation officer. And he would have clarified and say, what's a criminal? Always a criminal. And I don't trust people who was in prison and a liar. So I turned to him and said, well, well, if you say that you did so, and what he stand up and said was, that happened in my house. And whatever in my house is my business. I was like, but I, as a citizen, have the right to report something going wrong to the police. And what you did was technically disgusting and wrong. So his family was terrible. Example, I have a family member who make a fake profile of the victim's family name and would go to certain sites where I put they post good stories about me and say a whole sort of negative stuff. I have step my half sister, which I got my dad ended up having two daughters when I was inside there. Their sister went on a site as well and started talking about the person who he charged for could accomplish all of this if he didn't do this. And so it and then when my little sister died, because I didn't mention it, both of them before because they was born when I was inside here, when I was inside prison. And the bigger of the two girls hung herself a month, 2 months after her 16th birthday on Carnival Tuesday. And that is only because she had no, how to say it, she had counselors, but she was had a attention deficiency. And that family member and was pulling them away from our family, and a whole sort of fabrication was going on. And they even come to that point where she left my name out of my little sister's um the pamphlet as a sibling. And literally, like, to sit and motivate and to listen. I know I kind of going a little off the topic there, but as I said, the family supports was not really there, the counseling, anything like that. And honestly, I've
Right.
been real. I would love to have some counselors sit down with some of my family members and myself, because my dad and side of family, some of the most ignorant people, and you can never change them because what they believe to, they stick to, they don't care about you.
Right.
And if
Well,
I had
the
their
thing about
support,
the thing about you can choose your friends,
mhm,
you can choose your associates, but your family you can never be able to choose. They are just your family. So at the end of the day, uh, I mean, persons respond differently, persons
mhm,
react differently, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to accept them sometimes for who they are. One, and sometimes you love, even if you have to love from afar, but you still
yeah,
love because you don't want any kind of confrontation, you don't want any kind of bad vibes and that kind of thing. So, one thing I've learned about family is that they can be a different kettle of fish to deal with. But at the end of the day, the love must be still there, the support should be
mhm.
still there, and of course the
Well,
encouragement.
well,
But remember, you would find that in families across the board. So this is not just something
yeah,
to you alone, but you find that kind of back and forth and that kind of sometimes sibling rivalry and that kind of situation in families. But at the end of the day, we just have to encourage families that even if you have someone that is incarcerated,
yeah,
and you see that they are making a significant effort to change, a significant effort to be a part of the solution rather than the problem, I think that that should be taken into consideration. And sometimes we have to put all the other things aside
aside,
and just
correct.
show that kind of love and support.
And do not be jealous that if you see them elevating at a very fast pace, do not be jealous. Support them because they can be able to bless you or put you in positions that you need to be
That's
as well.
right. That's
So,
right. That's
uh,
right.
and that's the basic situation I'm going through because everybody thought I would have been, how to say it, struggling every single day. But when God has something for you in store for you, no man can stop God's blessing from coming in.
Truly, that
So,
that's for sure. Eh? So, Prim, who are some of the individuals you would like to recognize and thank for playing a pivotal role in your rehabilitation, whether uh, on the inside or when you came out, or whether it's a prison officer? You can show some appreciation and recognize them at this
Well,
point?
um, so the whole entire Church of Jetta, that is where I'm baptized when I came out. The House of Judah, Church of Nazarene. Um, there is program officers who came in, Mr. Passad, the officer, Mr. Kwame Pilgrim. Um, my brother, technically I'll call him a brother, who was also incarcerated because both of us used to encourage each other and reaching far places. I'll just call the last name for the while, Martinez, Emery, for all of us who came out and keep supporting each other, Clark, John. Um, there's a lot. Even on my show, you'll see some of them. Um, Mr. Stewart, the ex commissioner of prisons, he saw the potential and brought us out from the cell blocks and created a difference where people never had no how to say it, no confidence in us. Um Pastor Kelly, who you spoke to recently,
Yes.
she had a big play in helping people as well. Myself was how to say it? So there's a lot of prisoners. There's also people on the external, like oh gosh, just to remember everybody, and I hope they're not vexed, but there's so much people came in the prison and help motivate. Even when I saw like certain artists came in and they motivate us because Kes would have came in and literally get down and show people don't give up. You know, he wrote these songs, he wrote this, he was this way, he was that way. Um, there's so much, and all I have to say is just I will share my gratitude to all the officers that I spoke to because I learned so much from them.
Yeah.
Prison officers, police officers, fellow inmates, persons who come to change the change. I have some of my family members as well. So I like give it general,
Yes.
and I kept a fantasy. So I remember in the last episode, I'll talk about I have a little vision saying become big in the music. So whilst I was incarcerated, I've dreamt so much that I was literally in the same room with 50 Cent and Eminem doing musical. And it was like, hey, probably I will reach somewhere there. Because when I came out, there was this guy, Keon, who invited me to do a TV series with him. I acted in a fight scene, local siege Batchak man. And then eventually, there's so much. There's so much. I think even Shelly Das, when she first saw me, she would have motivated me. Um, Mr. Skinner, Pastor Skinner, I need to give him so much because when I go to schools and talk to them, I would have like the teachings you say, a lot of times we like to see what people do and do
Yes.
it and listen. And I would show it even time, like, you take your finger and you do that and you put it on the chin. And every single student is to put it on the cheek. Only a few of them used to literally put it on the chin because we like to see people do things and follow it and don't listen. So there's so much knowledge I gain from masculine excellency, from Mr. Alexander, from there's so much. I do it. There's so
Wow.
much, and I just can't
Wow.
remember
Wow.
them.
Wow.
There's
It's
authors as well.
what you're actually saying here, because remember, in our first interview, you indicated it takes a village.
Yeah.
So this was your village because you would not have received that kind of nurturing from before you were incarcerated. But while you were incarcerated, your village came and actually met you and impacted your life. So sometimes you may not have the village doing the
True.
nurturing before, but sometimes things happen. And when you're in a position like this now, then you find the villagers, so to speak, actually finding you. And it is always good to say thanks. It's never good to be ungrateful, definitely. Well, we're going to take our first short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us. You're viewing Transforming Lives One at a Time.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor, or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cells Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic, and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cells Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters, and yes, windows. Plus, a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget Skip the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cells Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Are you having issues with your vehicle overheating? No worries. Check out Graham's Radiator Service for sales and servicing of radiators, installation and flushing, pressure testing, gas tank recoating, and all your radiator needs. Check them out at Philadelphia Trace off the Plymouth Main Road in Marysville, Tobago, seconds from the Wim Anglican School. Call 639-1094 or 299-3097. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m.
Hi, my name is Hansen Mason and I'm a student of Scarborough Secondary School. Recently, out of taking place in the Men's Spelling Bee, in which I have placed first for my Form 5 and 6 category in Tobago, then went nationwide in Trinidad, in which I have placed third. Firstly, I want to thank God, my amazing parents and tremendous teachers at Scarborough Secondary School who would have motivated me to still partake in the spelling bee despite what I would have had to tell them. And what I want to leave with you is to don't be afraid to spell a word wrong. Don't be afraid to try, and that is simply proof that you are trying, and every mistake that is made is a step closer to getting right. Thanks for the opportunity, good vibes, good news.
Welcome back to Transforming Lives One at a Time. Well, Mr. Badree, how can ex-prisoners handle the stigma, discrimination, or biases that formerly incarcerated people often face, in society, coming back to your hometown? How do you think would be the best approach, or what strategies can be implemented here?
What I can say is this. Firstly, you have to understand you're gonna get it. There's nothing ever gonna stop it. The thing is how you're gonna deal with it. Example, in the Old Testament, when David left his house, there was a man cursing him and throwing stones. One of his servants said, Master, do you give him the permission to go and kill him? And David said, no. If that is from the Lord, leave it. Hopefully soon it'll turn to blessings. So you have to understand that people will do this and just leave it. And then afterwards, you have the mindset of your goal, what you want to achieve. Just know nothing is going to go perfect in your life. If something is going to go perfect, look forward for a great crash soon. Because life is hills and valleys. And by learning to deal with this, you're going to learn to handle all the other stuff that come in between. So accept it, ignore it, goal focus, push forward, understand that this will always happen. Issues will always happen in life. You just have to create your mindset to be focused.
Yes, well said. Okay, so let's talk about these 9 books that you have authored while in prison. And you're writing your 10th now, I'm told, and that is amazing. What was the motivation behind writing these books? And tell us about how that chapter of your life unfolded, and of course, tell us about the books themselves.
So I used to read a lot when I was incarcerated. Anne Rice, James Patterson, Nicholas Sparks, 3 of my greatest favorite authors, right? And the books was so amazing. I used to write rap songs before. I write all different type, country, everything, and then I tore it up because it was very vulgar and woolly. And I used to help people write poems, but then I fell in love with a girl. Um, I wouldn't say her name, but just long distance relationship doesn't work, especially when you're incarcerated and she's on your outside. Eventually, she met somebody, they fell in love and whatever, and I get a broken heart with a full set of tobacco that I started to get small. And I was inspired afterwards for all the pain I was going through to write. and I channeled it to write poems. And I started off my corny poems at the beginning and then developed. And that is where I started. So what I have to tell you is I wrote about 18 to 20 something books in all. 9 is out right now. I'm working on a comic book, and I'm also going to start working on my novels. I've written 3 novels. Mom misplaced one. So I have two, a werewolf book and a vampire book into my own twist of it. I'm gonna that's gonna take a while. But I'm gonna work on those two because I want those novels out to see my creative imagination as well. I have so right now I have the books of 3 kids books. I am also putting together in my mind because I have to daydream about it a lot. A fourth and a fifth kids book. I don't have the idea of the fourth one. I have to create the character and fill along the storyline and put it in a nursery rhyme kind of way. It's just for to teach children because with the first book, Adventures of Why, what I publish, that is basically you're hearing in schools telling you what is the vowels A E I O U and sometimes why. What do you mean sometimes why? How and why? So I just created a story to say, well, why was just by village by itself decided to leave in the alphabet, in the letters alphabet? No, the land of letters. And ventured out and bounced up the consonants, created words for the first time because he's the only letter that could create words with only vowel or only consonant. And from there, I created that whole story. I wrote it out. Then I say, you know what? Because I wanted to be remembered. Then I started my second one, zero. And to show that zero creates or makes other numbers more valuable and also have a peer motivation as well in the book. Um, and then upon release, I eventually spoke to somebody and it told me, yeah, people's was zero problems, zero stress. And that is when I created my third kid children's novel. Um, Zero, he is needed to, where I show the meaning of 3, the meaning of 7, and the meaning of 8. And then zero is saying, oh, look, you all have perfect meanings. Mine thing is mean nothing. And it's like 7 jump up and say, hey, you're not watching it correct. People want zero stress, zero worries. So it builds self-confidence and self-need. It
Right.
shows that you have value no matter if you feel like you're worth nothing. And that those are the 3. And then I published, then I work on my first poem book. And what I'm doing right now is trying to get people to donate to buy Bristles of My Brush, which is a book of philosophies and quotes that I created. So whilst listening to prison officers, and just I would have mentored a prison officer, I lectured him and I told him, the gateway of opportunity is never closed on one unless one sleeps in front of it. And he's like, yeah, boy. I say, yeah, because we always have opportunities. And I said, wait, I created my own quotes. I search it all over and I write it. That dreaming with potential and dreaming with potential and persistence towards purpose. I have I have quotes for family. I have one as my favorite. People's laugh. Your best friend is your toilet. Because your
Okay.
toilet is the only thing that you could throw mess. Anything else, your personal time, and all it does is flush and start over new.
Wow.
So I even have one everybody you meet is a well of knowledge. Learn who your drinks from. So it is 72 of this that I've created in YTC. And I'm checking to see that in the population for YTC is 70 to 75 people. And I'm trying to get donations to purchase a book from off Amazon, donate it back, and I'll be able to carry it in YTC throughout church service in September. And I don't have people who donate cake and cupcakes, and one of the company want to donate hygienic stuff. And we're going to do a giveaway in YTC. But I have to get people to donate the books, buy and donate. If I buy 5 to 10 to 15, buy it and bring it. It's 150 per book. Right. Then afterwards, I release my poem books, 3 so far. I have books, Poetic Mentals, The Sway of the Branch, Peek Into My Heart. The Heart Trilogy, Joe, though, is my Tabanka book. Peek Into My Heart, The Sins of My Heart, The Art of My Heart. All them things is just poem like, why you break my heart? But Mina, I met her once when I outside and I told her, thank you so much for breaking my heart. Because if you never
Wow.
did,
It
I would have
motivated
never
you to
created
write 9 books. Wow.
9. I have poem books called Incarcerated Poems. So I'm writing I write books like two gospel poem books named Why God Part 1 and Why God Part 2. So I'm putting myself in every single person's shoe who asks why God. And then to the end of the books, I have about 2 to 3 poems with God answering it. I Poetimentals is sentimental poems. I write a book for my brother who died as well. And I need to start a write out here because I want to write poems of freedom, and I have to write letters of a free man because I have a book called Letters of a Convict, and I have a book called Letters to My Future Wife. So those are things because I longed for those things when I inside Letters to our companion. So I wrote a book for that. And so in all, I would publish, and mind you, published 9 of those books within 2 to 3 months period, and I learned to publish it by myself. So I'm doing
So
it for free,
self-published.
and I also helping people. So instead I pay 15,000 plus to publish a book, just give me 1,000. I will get the ISP and everything free for you, and I will create your cover, edit your book, and publish it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have a book in the make
Mosquito.
that I'll
Sorry,
say
what?
one time, right?
No,
I have
yeah,
a
just
book in
reach
the
out to me.
making.
I will help you. I have no problem in helping as much as I could because it have people who have story to tell and they don't know
Yeah.
how to tell it. So I will tell them according to the person. I will actually probably because of the circumstances I might be able to say, okay, let me help you for a cheaper price, or hey, let me just help you
Yes.
according to how God put it on my heart. And that is the story with my books, and it's just not there because it didn't end there because while it's incarcerated, I want to say when you hear my name, you hear author, you hear a radio broadcaster,
Yes.
you hear a public speaker, you hear actor. So I don't know the acting thing more. I want to act in a bigger role in a bigger movie. You hear a TV presenter or something, like a host or something like that. And that is where it came
Yes.
about with my show. I Now my show has 2 other things tied to it as well, right? And before I come to the show, I'll talk about those 2 things. A guy and I, through my show, which is my third person I interviewed, we're gonna partner and I'm gonna try to see if I accumulate the funds. And we're gonna rent spots all over the country and place barbershops. So and we're gonna open something called Barbershop Talks, where if you identify the pattern of your child going astray, feel free to bring your child to one of these barbershops who has people who has made errors in life and want to make the change genuinely. And it doesn't mean somebody who lock up. It could be somebody who made the wrong choice, never get locked up, but decide to make a change. Right?
Right.
And you bring your child, pay for the haircut, and we mentor to them one time there, show them life in a way, and let them know, feel free to come again. We'll make sure and try the guys. So we building mentors in these. And also, I am intending to open my NGO soon called All Airs. Now, my NGO is kind of jokey because yes, we have certain call lines already, hotlines. My NGO is a little different. If you get horn, call man, tell me. Before you go and drink a gram and soon or kill somebody or whatever, call man, tell me.
Talk it out.
Vent. Talk it
Talk it
out.
out.
If you and your partner fall, and here the thing, you could cuss. We just gonna listen. So I had a partner with certain communities and certain people, and it's just like you're happy, like you say, you just win a play with, or you just win a sum in the roulette, and you don't have nobody to share it with because the people you share it with will mark you and tell somebody, and you could get robbed. We don't want to know your name. Call me and share the joy with me, so your joy will turn to sorrow. If you're
Okay.
going through depression and you just want somebody to talk, just a small talk, call people listening. So if
So
you
it's
know
almost
fall
like
out
a
of depression,
hotline. A
it is a
hotline.
hotline, but it's just a little different because this one it can be real.
Okay.
We'll just let you know if you show intentions of doing harming somebody into and you're really showing we may have to have interventions on it
Of
or any
course.
certain things. But if you just want to vent and tell us, it's something that feels so, but and you say you want us to give you advice, we will give you. If you don't want advice and just want somebody to listen, we'll just listen.
Right. But of course, you have to create boundaries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, obviously, it has a certain specific boundaries. But I want to allow people to know, okay, because people have so much things bottled up.
Yeah.
And I want them to open it and feel that relief on their shoulders
Okay.
and feel safe. They could call me because it is a safe space hotline. And the name of it, I created when I was incarcerated as well. All Airs.
All is. Okay.
all ends.
Okay.
Behind every mistake, there's a person. And behind every struggle, there's a story waiting to be told. This is Redemption, a road to rehabilitation and recovery, where honesty meets hope and change begins. I am Pream Badree. I was a part of the problem, and now I want to be part of the solution. So join me on Real TV every Thursday at 6 p.m. See you there.
Well, I want us to talk about your television show that you launched just recently. I think you had 2 episodes already,
Yes.
and the name is Redemption.
Yes.
Tell us about the concept behind Redemption and who is your target audience? What are you bringing to the table?
So my TV show basically is, we have people, not just prisoners, ex-convicts, not just drug addict, ex-drug addicts, because I have these people to come on and talk as well. I started off with myself to share my story. I have people who come into the prison who dealt with programs. I have a police officer, I have counselors, we have these coming. So what we're going to do is, we hear any before story before anybody goes into crime or drugs. But talking convicts, drug addicts, extra. We even have people who in drugs, but we had to blow out the face because we don't want them to get in trouble, who willing to share. And we hear through any story, what's the struggles they're going through. You know, so before how life was, what caused them to go in, through in the process, what caused them to change and then come out was the struggles. So a little bit of what we're doing, but just I'm going in a full scale. What we're going to do is identify the pattern in every single individual and see if there's a similarity for parents to identify. So if you're seeing this in your kids, know that there's a more potential your child might go astray. It's not 100% accurate, but it's a greater value that is going to happen. Get your child to one of our hotlines or one of our barbershop talks,
Yes.
or reach out to us, and we will try to help you to cause your child not to go in this direction. We can help you. So that is what the show is about, because we just want to bring back a community, because I'm really fed up of people always have to put more bars. And long time we should just have a fence, and now people putting high walls, like if it's towers, just to build prisons for yourself to keep yourself safe. That is too much.
Right.
Also, long time, if somebody quite 20 houses away, now holding a little event for Christmas or Diwali or whatever, them don't have to send invites. Show up here, fill your belly and you're gone. Don't happen again. Because I miss some of them people food up the road, because I miss them a long time. Them just cook some nice food now.
Yeah.
So I want to try to bring back the safety in the community and
Okay.
community outgrowth in a way. Eventually the show now start, and I have the how to say it, the belief that the show is going to draw a lot of partners, people who will want to help grow as well. As it now starts, it is kind of small, but I know it's going to be big.
Well, I have one thing to say for that. Never despise small beginnings. And most importantly, it's because of the heart that you have. You want to see lives impacted. You want to see transformation. And you want to ensure that the younger generation don't have to live through what you live through, but they can learn, as you rightfully said, a wiser man learns from the experiences of others. So hats off to you with these, of course, these books and this new television initiative. Break, and then we will wrap up the program. Stay with us. Transforming lives one at a time.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cells Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cells Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters, and yes, windows. Plus, a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cells Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Are you having issues with your vehicle overheating? No worries. Check out Graham's Radiator Service for sales and servicing of radiators, installation and flushing, pressure testing, gas tank recoating, and all your radiator needs. Check them out at Philadelphia Trace off the Plymouth Main Road in Marys Hill, Tobago, seconds from the Wim Anderson School. Call 639-1094 or 299-3097. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m.
Hi, my name is Hansen Mason and I'm a student of Scarborough Secondary School. Recently, out of taking place in the Men's Hospital B, in which I placed first for my Form 5 and 6 category in Tobago, then went nationwide in Trinidad, in which I placed third. Firstly, I want to thank God, my amazing parents and tremendous teachers at Scarborough Secondary School who would have motivated me to still participate in the spelling bee despite what I would have had to tell them. And what I want to leave with you is to don't be afraid to spell a word wrong. Don't be afraid to try, and that is simply proof that you are trying, and every mistake that is made is a step closer to getting right. Thanks for the opportunity, good vibes, good news.
Welcome back to the program. Mr. Badree, tell us, in what ways are you different today from the person who first entered the system more than 21 years ago?
Firstly, I'm more handsome now than back then. I have to say that first. Get out of the way.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
fine.
just get out of the way
More
one time.
handsome, right?
Secondly, my intelligence has grown because I understand that I always learning, never stop learning. Substance abuse, back then used to smoke, drink a lot. Now I don't smoke and I don't really like to drink alcohol. So now and then I might drink I'll take a little sip, but I don't like beers, nothing like that. Seeking to fight. And okay, so back in the day, back in the days, if it get me angry, I'm gonna attack you. So people watching me like serious. So I have something I wrote in one of my book, and this whole section you're asking here, whoever want to hear a little depth in it, buy Letters of a Convict, because back in the days, people who know me then and see me now will say I'm a completely different person. But the person who see me now and get to hear about the person and who I was, they will tell you a lie.
Right.
And it's exactly what I say in one of my quotes as well, because everything is linked. Who I was is not who I am, and who I am is not who I'm gonna be. But who I was determines who I am, and who I am is determining who I am going to be. So I was not too educated. I didn't have so much confidence. I wasn't so handsome. I'm sleeping that again. I was now if I get angry, I would talk about it. I would find means. I literally just I get more fatter though, but yeah, literally a better person that I'm proud of now than back then.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Well, as we begin to bring the curtains down on part 2, I would like you to take the opportunity to speak to the powers that be on any issue regarding prison life and what you think can be done to improve.
So these is situations that should happen. Yes, prisoners not no bed arose, but what you have to understand is that look at some of the countries that recidivism rate is real low. Look at how their prisons are. It's not like how it look. So let us take it like this. There's Mexico and these other countries that put 15 to 200 people in one cell. But the crime rate always skyrocket just because of cost of living. Look at the places that has their prison like fully reformed. You give them this life, you take away certain things and you show them certain stuff. Example, better food. Yes, you need to learn something, but you need to instill the programs. Programs, what type of programs is there? A critical thinking program is needed in all prison, and every single person need to take it. A critical thinking program, um, counseling, hype it up. You need to bring in more because not just add a request and I wait 2 3 months because that's what the system is in order to get a counselor. No, everybody should be entitled to see a counselor. Every single person. So bring in that you're creating more employment for people who doing counseling, psychology, and they're fighting to get a work. Give them the opportunity to really serve it in the prison. There's thousands of men and women who bottle up so much things, and because they can't talk it or say it, or that is what causing them to react a certain way. Some of them want to cry and they can't cry because they don't know how to. Help them. They hire about 50 to 100 psychologists, bring them in counsel and let them talk. Increase the stop prison officers from thieving food inside the prison, food and toiletries, and give the prisoners what they need. And I'm saying this from witnessing. Legalize cigarette inside prison. If you want to decrease trafficking and violence, legalize it inside the canteen and hike the price up by about 10%. You make a profit and you eliminate trafficking because it's legal out here. This is cool somebody frustration. I don't smoke again, but you need to see what makes sense and work it. I think a lot what I heard from a lot of church service people, church that goes in, used to go in, they don't go in again because of change of rules. You need to allow God is an essential part in changing somebody's life. Need to create avenues to have more church coming in, more people to come and do programs. As I say, critical thinking. Um, this ADP should be for adults as well. Adolescent, even though it's adolescent, some people are adolescents in the heart still. Confidence building. Education. The school is too small inside it. They need to have a bigger school system because there's so much people who want to do it, but they don't get to do it because of reasons. Normalize treating prisoners as citizens than dogs and prisoners. I understand they make something wrong, but what are you coming in prison for? For punishment or to be punished? If I'm making sense, because you're already coming to as punishment, and one of the terms of punishment is to rehabilitate to become a better citizen when they come out to make better choices. Let it really happen. And I thinking open more programs into terms of trade into prison. Don't just do it trade because they're gonna learn that by white tip. There's a lot of cars out here that's packed down by Vemcott and all these places. Open a mechanic place inside the prison for people to learn and more people come in fix. Like how you see the adults, the foreign prisoners, and also partner with some factories where you have supervision of proper officers going in and these people working in the factories, they're accumulating a paycheck which is going to be cut because obviously part of it have to go back to the prison to purchase certain items, not just depending on the government. And you're giving them that sense of working to earn. Now, when they do something wrong, they're gonna lose up a work and they're gonna lose a income. And then you have to pay a penalty according to, so if you damage something, you're paying the penalty. So the responsibility, you're not taking it away from what they have out here, you're giving them it, but now they're under spot, like firmer supervision. So yeah, you kind of you see one thing that causes people to to be in a lot of problems in prison is the idleness.
Yes, because I was
And
just about to say, so what I'm hearing is that you're asking for more programs, more rehabilitation programs, but more
art,
practice
yeah,
so
book
that
clubs.
when they go out, they
Hmm.
can be able to have the resources, they can have the kind of information so they can now go out and do something that
Hmm.
can bring in a tangible income. And with that, We're not going to have so many repeat offenders. You're just doing something to get back into prison because you're out after so many years. And because you were unable to access certain programs.
Yeah, because one of the reasons for the paycheck as well, because I think in prison, when you work in the prison, you get like 10 cents or something like that per day or something like that. But if they work themselves to a standard to get a job whilst in prison and they have it, when they come out, they have money to allocation for apartment building for a lengthy period of time. So, in other words, if they come out, because society needs to learn not to blacklist people. Because when you're blacklisting people, you are playing a role into the recidivism. So when you're saying, oh, criminal and a criminal and criminal, you are a criminal too for blacklisting them because you're going to say, stay a criminal, then, hey, let me better my society. Let me create a safer community. So this job is going to give them financial stability for a couple months or even a year plus, according to how long inside it for accommodation and food system. So by the time they're looking for other employment, now I have an idea and all for the employment. So when they come out, and this is why I'm pushing out my show as well, and it'll be good to push all over. Let the government partner with certain work as well, and let them know. Let us create a insurance policy. I call it insurance pocket as well. The company purse half, the government purse half. The company hires an ex-convict after doing thorough probation and seeing they go through these programs and they come into good, and they're getting a 0.5 tax reduction percent tax reduction. This is going to encourage companies to hire more people, and then the people who come out to see that, hey, somebody's giving me a chance, right?
Right.
And I need to build this because at the end, if they have a child and they need to provide for the child, they gain something to provide to be
Okay.
proud to grow. Because through my TikToks, people reach out and say, I'm struggling for this, I'm struggling for that. I don't want to go back in prison, what to do. And I had to tell them, hey, here what happened, seeing that it wasn't an accident, or seeing that this or seeing that. Walk around the neighborhood, ask the elderly people and them if how they getting the seasoning. Plant up a little some, ask them if they want to thing, yeah, and bring it to them. So you create avenues and you create ways. And honestly, I think I don't care who government it is. I think whoever they should hire me in my office and make an office there, and I can literally curb crime and the future crime rates because I have the ideas. I've sat with prisoners in there and we have discussed ways to make a better country. But you remember, we're not getting any chance because I want to revamp the mentorship program as well. I have people who will go all over to communities and make sure there's so much, but like there's no opportunity. Like I'm begging for the opportunities, are going all over, and like the people like, nah, they're not benefiting me, so I don't want that. That's how they act
Right.
sometimes.
Right. This Transforming Lives One at a Time, it's a very broad viewership. So programs like these, as they get out, it gets into the minds and in the hearts and into the homes of the
Mhm.
powers that be. And they could now be able to look at a program and see exactly your testimony, see where you have come from and what you are doing now. And they can now be able to make that kind of decision or decisions that they can be able to partner with you for the good of society. So I'm
Mhm.
trusting and I'm hoping that these programs are going to go into the right spaces and the right places. And of course, as we continue to share, and you could share this program on our TikTok, Instagram, we have our YouTube channel, Facebook, just share the information so it can really be able to get to the people that need to hear it and they can be able to make that kind of change in their lives.
Mhm.
Well, Mr. Badree, we are on home stretch now. I want you to speak to an individual today. That individual has no sense of direction and is possibly heading down a slippery slope. Share
Mhm.
some advice with our youth population, especially as we bring the curtains down today.
So I spoke about this recently on my TikTok as well. You finish CXC, you're claiming that stress finish, but the question is, what's next? What is next? What do you want to do? Right now, who do you want to be? Who do you want people to see you as? Do you want people to love you or fear you and call police right through? You want people to bring opportunities and for you to go and be and real talk about your boss all over the place or watch and murmur all over. What you want to do. I understand life is not good all the time. That is part of life. It's all about a growing experience because don't feel that you are going through something now and nobody's going through it. People's going through worse. I could share 1,000,010 things. Just know patience and God's perfect timing. If time permits, I'll give you a little quick listen thing. I was supposed to pay about $1,000 to publish my third book and fourth book. And I got a short on money. And I was like, thinking I was vexed. And you know what happened? That short on money made me went and learn how to use the program and publish by myself. And because I got that short, now I'm publishing everything for free. So because you're going through something doesn't mean that that should be your outcome right. You know, observe it. Take a second. Just take a little second. Watch it and ask the questions and see what you can learn from it. And when it's over, you're going to be proud. You're going through everything because it's making you stronger. And pretty soon you're going to be a conqueror. Don't give up.
Thank you. Well, Pream, I want to thank you so much as we bring the curtains down on part 2 of this 2-part series. I want to thank you for sharing your life experience, personal experiences, your journey from incarceration to fulfilling your true purpose and now making a positive contribution to our society. I want to encourage you to keep pushing forward and keep sharing your life story as a deterrent to others heading to a life of crime. And of course, I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And I really love what you spoke about, that barbershop idea. So as soon as it's off the ground, please send me the information and let's see what we can do here in Tobago to have some barbershops really signing up to that, because at the end of the day, I see your heart, I see your vision, and definitely you want to be able to impact lives and transform lives. And of course, that is what this program is all about. So thanks again. I know you won't be a stranger.
Thanks
and
so
we will
much.
definitely connect again. Okay. Well, viewers, that brings the curtains down on part 2 of this 2-part series with Pream Badree, an ex-prisoner who spent 16 years in jail, and he is now an author and impacting and transforming lives throughout Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, beyond. You can check us out on our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. Okay, as usual, I leave you with the definition of transformation, which is an internal shift that brings us into alignment with our fullest potential. Hey, we've got this. See you next time. I now leave you with beautiful sceneries of Tobago.